I'm going on a podcast.
Spoiler alert.
Woo!
Yeah, that was
Let's
crazy.
go.
If he loses, they're not going to fight again.
The UFC is not going to be working with USADA anymore. I'm here to let y'all know NHL is back. Go make your picks, better picks, set your lineups up, and make some money. So get your paws in there. Better picks, go do it.
I sniffed a bunch of peppermint before this, and it got caught in my nose. And dude, for the last 10 minutes, it was not fun. It was very painful. So don't do that.
Like you just essential oil?
Yeah.
You just sniffed it.
Yeah, but it got like caught in my.
Is it something that's like made to sniff or just?
No, it was just like a dropper. But I just like
dropped a bunch of it.
Yeah, and it got caught in my freaking nasal passages, and it was burning for like. I was like, I don't think I can do the podcast, but I got it out. So,
dude, that reminds me of when was it that we were doing those smelling salts?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
I was like, we never did.
Was that at Matty DeBone's wedding?
Yeah, it was at the
wedding.
wedding.
Was the best.
Yeah.
That's a game changer, bro.
It's a game changer if you're going out, and yeah.
You got to do it. I always saw people doing that at like house parties or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that sounds kind of dumb. Like, I feel like I'm on 100 already. I don't need that. And then I did it, and I was like, woo!
Yeah, that was
Let's go.
Yeah, those things are for real.
Yeah, that's a great kind of just little tool.
Yeah.
Little biohack.
Have you ever done it before you're like a big lift or anything?
I don't need that.
I'm glad I didn't find that in high school because I would have abused it.
You were just on that C4, that straight dry shot.
Yeah.
Dry powder, friggin'.
That was plenty.
Yeah.
Have you used it?
Smelling salts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do it before Max's in high school. Me and my friends.
Ronan's like, yeah, finally got 185 on bench. Bench my body weight for one, finally. Let's go. Hell yeah. I also deadlifted 315. Freaking strong as hell, man.
Yeah, dude, when I was in 8th grade, that's exactly what happened.
I could see Ronan just like about to max out on squat. He's about to max out on back squat. He goes freaking tightens his belt up. He's got a knee sleeves, neoprene, gives a slap on the back of the neck. Smells the salts, gets under the bar, squats, hits the bottom, struggles to get up, and then immediately just racks his 2 plates and is good. Good for the day. It's like, just, yeah, man.
It's what I did today.
Yeah.
Bro, Zach and I almost killed a man with, you know, those things are made with ammonia.
Yeah.
So we were like using ammonia for cleaning for something, and it was so strong, the smell. It was like in a bucket. And one of our dad's workers came in, and we were like, Mark, smell this. It's so bad. He put his full face in
And sniffed hard. Knock him out.
Bro, he almost, like, he fell back like 4 feet. It almost fell back down the stairs. If Zach was here, bro, he would be dying. Because he was like, Mark's with us. He was like, oh! It's so bad.
Oh,
that
my
stuff's no
gosh.
joke, dude.
Yeah, it's not to be messed with. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, dude, you got to be careful when you tell somebody to smell something because a lot of people are just like,
Yeah, yeah, aggressive.
yeah, there's like, oh, whoa. Oh, that's funny as heck.
For the card this weekend?
Yeah, let's go.
So let's just give it some background here. So Paulo Costa
Yep.
gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Elbow's all messed up. He had some kind of bacteria infection there.
Right.
Got pulled out of the fight via the doctors. Not him, apparently. Just recently, finding out today, it's Wednesday, that Usman stepping in against Chimaev.
That's dope.
What are your guys' take on that?
Yeah, man. I was a little disappointed. They didn't ask me to step in there. I was expecting at least an ask.
Yeah, at least
They're like,
cordial invite.
I know, like, hey, you want to do this? But no, just nothing from the UFC. So
Dang.
is what it is. But yeah, I'm guessing that they didn't want me to roll over into Abu Dhabi on like 10 days notice and smash their boy in front of his home crowd or something. So
Yeah, well, they can't do any build up or anything. Like they would lose too much money.
yeah, it's a big. I mean, that's a fight that it needs to have proper build up and whatnot. So I get that. It was it was just interesting to me because I probably got today, I don't even know how many comments and DMs and this and that. Fight Khamzat, fight Khamzat, fight Khamzat. And I'm like, well, they didn't even ask.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't even an option really. But yeah, it's all good. Like I said, I think that there's probably a lot that went into that decision. So we'll do it another time.
Yeah. That's a dope fight, though.
It's a good fight.
It's at 85?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Might be more. Who knows what Khamzat's going to weigh in at?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's cool.
Very questionable.
Yeah, I think it'll be competitive. I think it'll be very competitive based on his last fight with Burns. I do think he overlooked Burns, but
yeah.
I mean, also Usman he's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know
A little older.
how it's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely watch it back on the replay a few days after it happens.
Ballsy. Yeah, same. I'll watch some highlights.
Actually, you know what? It's going to be
early?
early.
Sweet.
So maybe I will catch it if I'm not doing anything.
Is that the night before my fight?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Kind of ballsy on Usman. It's not really, like, besides taking his name, there's not maybe too much of an upside for going up to 85. And
Not too much of an upside, but I think that for Usman, I mean, he's already been the champ, defended his belt, and then just lost back-to-back. So
true.
he's not really in a great position.
Yeah,
he's not in a position where he's like,
yeah, it's gonna be one or two like low name guys before he gets back to the title. So
yeah,
Makes sense.
he's not in the position to be able to do that. But yeah, it should be a good fight.
Well, Dana was saying that the winner of that fight's going to be the #1 contender for
At 85,
at middleweight.
Usman, he's not staying at middleweight.
yeah,
I'll bet any amount of money he doesn't stay at
I'm
middleweight.
sure if he has a shot at the title, I mean, he's going to take it.
I guess.
I mean, again, if it's Strickland,
yeah,
for sure.
for sure. I guess. I don't know.
How about freaking?
That would be crazy. He's never been a guy that's been on my radar at all.
Yeah, you're like, I have to reframe my mind on him.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I was like, that's all cool. He's a cool dude. He's still cool. I'm sure we'll probably.
Rock's cool. I like ballers.
Yeah, I don't think that he'll stay 80. I mean, if he gets a title shot, maybe, but I just couldn't imagine that.
Yeah,
But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
See how it plays
Chilling.
out. Other one.
that's crazy.
Oliveira
Volk.
pulled out. Volk stepping in. He might. I guarantee he's just been training. He's ready to go. I'm sure. He's not I don't think he's like coming off the couch type of guy.
I don't think so either. But I like.
I don't.
I
Really
want to
love
see that fight. Like I just rewatched the first one and it was good, really good. I really want to see that fight like built up and proper training. Like it's dope that Volk stepped in, but it's Islam. Like that's a really hard wrestling conditioning focused matchup for him. Like,
I think that there's a couple problems with it. One, the first fight was too good of a fight to have it now be on short notice.
Yeah, and if he loses, they're not going to fight again.
No, and I think that this is the problem. If he does lose, Islam is going to say, I'm 2-0. Why would I fight you again?
Yeah.
And then everybody else is going to say, well, it was on 10 days notice and this and that. And obviously Volk's going in expecting to win. And again, like I said, I'm sure he's been training. I'm sure he's prepped. He's ready. He's probably been thinking about this fight. But he also has a fight booked with Ilya for UFC 297, which is weird. So what happens like with that? It just, I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see. It's a little bit weird. It is what it is, but hey, they're freaking fighting. I'm sure he's getting cash.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope either way. It's
Make
just
a lot of money. Abu Dhabi, they pay them boys.
I think Volk's going to win that fight.
Do you?
I think Islam's been preparing for a jiu-jitsu or whatchamacallit, Oliveira for so long that like that's a whole different fight.
It doesn't really matter though, man. Like I think that people get a little caught up in the he was preparing for this or preparing for that thing. It's like at a certain level, you're just getting better at fighting.
Yeah, especially for a wrestling dominant guy.
Yeah, it's not. Everybody makes a matchup is very important, but it's more so important. Let's say you have no wrestling, you're going and you're expecting to fight a striker, then you end up fighting a wrestler. All right, you're kind of screwed. But you probably weren't going to make up for all that wrestling in 8 weeks, anyways. So you're kind of screwed regardless. But when you're a wrestling dominant guy, you can pretty much fight anybody and be ready to go.
Yeah,
a better wrestler makes it a little harder matchup. So I would say that this matchup might be a little harder because Volk's wrestling is better than Charles. But Charles has that jiu-jitsu X factor, which makes it interesting anyway. So I'm sure Islam was working a ton on
his grappling.
So I think that
it's good for Islam.
it's a great situation for Islam. Not as great for Volk, but again, he's probably been training. He's probably been working on Islam game plan because he knew they were going to fight again. So
he also came in like pretty solid weight wise for the last fight.
Volk,
yeah.
So
I don't know how his body like has been holding up for the transition because he fought Yair in between.
He fought Yair.
He's probably a little smaller
in July on my card.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But that's been a little bit. July, August, September. So 3 months.
Yeah. I just don't know. Some people's bodies, like, some people do better if they're, plus it's only 10 pounds. Some people do better if they're like closer to their natural weight or what they're naturally used to doing. And some people do better if they're fighting someone bigger and they're a little bigger. So
right.
I don't know. He's got a good team. So at least he'll be like, he's not going to be not prepared
for sure.
Generally.
Another big fight this weekend. Probably the 2 biggest this month besides those. Logan Paul against Dillon Danis.
Oh, that's this weekend.
Wow.
Is that still on?
Yeah, he's fighting Dillon.
Really?
He needs to. How else is he going to pay the lawsuit?
Who?
Dillon Danis.
What lawsuit?
So,
the lawsuit with his girlfriend. Yeah. That's weird.
That's
crazy.
Saturday?
You can't be fighting somebody and then sue them. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. I don't agree with Dillon Danis doing his thing either, but you can't sue somebody you're about to fight him. What's the point? Just whip his ass.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fair.
Either settle it in the law room or settle in the cage.
Agreed. It's an influencer fight. They're both obviously good and athletic, and I don't know, man. It's not like a real pro fight to me.
Doesn't really get
especially
me going.
Neither of them are focused fully on boxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're like like Jake. He's like, I'm a pro boxer. I'm all in. I've seen him train. I know what he's doing. These guys, I don't think either of them are really 100% all in on what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're just doing it to do it.
Well, it's also an exhibition. This doesn't go on the record.
Okay, well, that makes more sense then. Yeah, exhibition.
So I think it's more entertaining.
It's entertaining.
Than anything else.
You know who I want to see fight? Freaking Derek, dude. Derek hasn't fought in, 2 weeks? Let's get him back in there. Let's get Derek from Better Media back in the ring.
Yeah, I would love that.
He has a fight booked.
Against Steiny?
No one really knows who it's against.
Dude, did you see his hype videos?
Yeah.
His hype videos are so good. They're so good.
They're pretty good.
They're really good.
He has been Better's like dark horse this entire time.
Dude, I don't know. I think he's the face.
He's kind of built up to that.
Derek is the face of Better.
That is who I think. I don't think of Jake. I think of Derek.
It's Derek.
It's 100% Derek.
It goes.
The one clip was
Derek,
really
Jake, me and Ian,
Mike.
The one clip he was him and Kyle were talking trash like after the Derek fight, after the Steiny fight, and then Kyle was like, "How much is your salary, bro?" And he's like, "More than not more than you make, but
not more than you make." That's so funny that he realized in the middle of it. He's like, "Well, yeah, actually." I didn't see that. Yeah. How about the fact that the UFC is not going to be working with USADA anymore starting January 1?
Who's coming in?
I don't think anybody.
What?
Yeah, I just read it all today. Dude, and the CEO of USADA sent a big statement out, and it was basically saying that we've had a great relationship with the UFC the last 8 years. We're really proud of the work we've done cleaning up the sport. And then they talked a ton about McGregor and the issues with McGregor and how they didn't care about how it was going down with him, that they were going to make him do his 2 tests, make him do at least 6 months and more if they felt like it was fair. They felt like if they said, if we want to hold him out for longer than 6 months, we're going to do that. And then the UFC was basically like, all right, well, we're done starting January 1. December 31st, our contract's over.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know if they're going to try to use who else is going to do it? There's nothing. There's the athletic commissions, but that's a joke. They can only text you an hour before the fight. They're not coming to your house and doing stuff like that.
Jeez. That's not good.
Not good at all. So I think there's a couple things that could happen. Either they're just done and it's going to be basically the most minimal testing possible, or they're going to be done for however long. McGregor's going to fight early 2024, and then they'll re-sign with USADA. Like, I think that they're
like
literally
have a gap for McGregor.
I think they might. It's possible.
Yeah, that's stupid. I wouldn't be upset if they split up because it's just going to go back to what it was and just
Everybody's going to be TRT'd out.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be freaking roided out.
yeah, that's you don't want Vitor Belfort freaking coming back with
TRT
6-inch
Vitor.
traps and
Yeah.
Alistair Overeem and all these dudes.
That's the first two comments that I saw were Ubereem is back. TRT Vitor is back. Yeah.
Brock Lesnar signs with the UFC.
Yeah, right? No, that's
that's whack. I hope they figure that out.
We'll see, man. But yeah, looking like I might be fighting up a bunch more roided out
Yeah.
dudes. All right, whatever.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that was super interesting. I don't know. I like I said, I just saw it earlier today, so I haven't got to see much other than it's for sure
They're confirmed done.
confirmed done on
Can
January
you check that
1.
up, Jamie? I mean, Ronan?
Yeah.
100% confirmed January 1. The
Jeez.
CEO of USADA put out the statement.
Wow.
Yeah, Ariel reported on it as well. And everybody was like, this is bad for the sport, but I don't care.
Yeah,
Like-
for the viewers, it's like whatever.
Yeah, everybody, like a lot of people that kind of understand MMA were like, this is terrible for MMA, but I'm down to see some of this
I mean, it was
human cockfighting.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah. Did I just say cock on podcast?
Yeah.
They should just have a different division.
Steroid division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
I would. 100%. That'd be exciting.
Yeah.
They should do that for every sport. Dude,
Oh, they should for sure.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
this is the problem. Every other sport, aside from Olympic sports, they're already
It's already
roided.
mixed in.
Those dudes are already on roids for sure.
Dude, this is what I wanted to talk about. Do you see some of the sports the Olympics are going to have in 2028?
I heard this on the freaking radio, bro.
What is it?
Flag football. I'm doing it.
Flag football
Flag football. The other ones I don't have a shot in.
in the Olympics.
In the Olympics. Pickleball should be in there too.
Pickleball should be in
they
there.
didn't
Pickleball
ask,
makes
but
more sense to me.
What are the other sports?
It's like flag football.
Lacrosse.
Yeah, lacrosse is in there.
Just more sports for America to dominate in, or what?
Pretty much.
Yeah. There was a couple other ones.
That's weird.
Nothing too interesting. But flag football,
Flag football. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm joining the team with Tyreek Hill.
You and Tyreek? You gonna be throwing dimes to Tyreek?
Yeah, we're boys.
Yeah, it's gonna be all like running backs.
Just everybody's.
wide
Dude,
receivers.
imagine imagine the Olympics, and how many? What is it? 7-on-7.
Yeah.
Imagine 7 random dudes from India that have never played football coming out and playing against Josh Allen, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and like freaking Christian McCaffrey. And they're like, we're not even going to play. We only need 6. We don't even need. You guys can double cover whoever you double cover Jefferson.
I finally finished the Redeem team.
Dude,
Great.
so good,
Great for
right?
Doc. The end was
Ah,
with the Kobe at the end was tough.
rough, right?
Yeah,
It's sad,
really sad.
really sad.
And then I just watched the Arnold documentary. I've been on a roll leading
Oh,
into this fight.
the episode one.
Yeah,
Did you watch all of it?
I'm like almost done with the third one, the governor one. It's a freaking crazy, awesome story, bro. Like, just whatever he wanted next, work up to it, get it. Next,
It gets a
work up
lot
to it,
worse.
get it. Huh?
I'm not going to spoil it for you, but
How? I have like 30 minutes left.
it gets a lot worse.
There's no way.
I guarantee you it does. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll figure it out.
What?
I'm not going to say it if you don't know.
I mean, I'm sure I heard of it. It's not a movie. It's happened already.
you don't. I didn't hear of this. I hadn't heard of this.
What?
Oh, you probably had heard of this actually. He like had a son that he hid from his family.
Oh.
What?
You didn't hear about this?
No.
All right. Well, I just ruined it.
No, it's okay.
You act like you knew.
No, but it's okay.
Dude,
I'm
he
going to find
literally-
out in like 10
He
minutes.
literally had a son, had a kid with a maid, and like hid it from his entire family.
Oh, I heard the story with the maid. Yeah.
Yeah, and like ruined his relationship with his wife and kids and everybody.
Yeah, that
He's
was,
alone
I didn't
now.
know. I didn't even know he was married to a Kennedy. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope. But and she was dope. But turns out like as soon as that happened, she found out they like split. And
Dang. Spoiler alert.
you told me you knew. You fraud. Oh man.
You guys can get in on it too. Well, last week I said that Tony said words funny. It didn't really hit off with the viewers. Oh, something I did want to bring up. Podcast views are up as soon as I hopped on. Just want to say.
Second,
why?
So you know why the podcast views are up? Because now we have somebody to make fun of.
It was too lovey-dovey without you. So
speaking of making
plus
fun
the
of,
new studio, there's a couple of factors, but I'll give it to you.
Yeah. Speaking of,
that's good that podcast views are up.
Yeah.
11,000%.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's how it went.
So you wrote stuff down.
I wrote stuff down because I wanted to start this new segment because I felt bad that I was just making fun of Tony and not making fun of Bo. So
let's do this.
Proceed.
Roast me.
Oh,
be careful.
Which one you want me to go?
Be careful.
First?
Be careful because the amount of time that it takes that to fill that invoice, it can change drastically.
We have to change that process, by the way, because it takes way too long.
What?
No, I'm talking about him specifically.
Okay.
But with me and you,
Yes.
we can change it.
I need to be included on that.
That's just on me.
Yeah, because you're never gonna remember. So
no, I remember. I just do it a month. It's 1 month late.
I know, but it's like that. It's 2 months late. That it's
When has it been 2?
the last one.
It's like 6 weeks. It's not late. It's like 2. It's like September. So September. Once September finishes,
Then you get paid.
yes,
And it's October 12th. I haven't gotten paid.
for September.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Bo, I'm doing you first.
That's what she said.
Bo, you're a ginger. Boom, roasted.
Okay.
You wrote this down.
Well, yeah, I
It looked like 4th grade handwriting too.
Did you write it in crayon?
No, I wrote it in pen.
Oh yeah, sure.
Bo, I don't know who's flatter, your chest or a Victoria's Secret model's. Boom, roasted. All right, that's all I had for you.
That's really embarrassing for you. Keep going.
Tony.
Oh.
I wanted to go easy on you.
Hey, how about this? I'm gonna go one back off the top of the dome real quick for you.
Okay.
If I was a lesbian, I would want to date you. If I was a female
That's
and I was
pretty creative
attracted
for
to other
off the
females, you would be my first choice and a
good one.
partner.
It's a good one.
A lifelong partner.
It's a good one. That's a good one.
Because one, you're fine as hell, coming from a lesbian. 2, I just think you'd be nice. You'd just be nice to have around. You'd probably just like do whatever I asked, and
Pretty much already do that. All right, Tony.
Me.
I wanted to go easy on you. Tony, I don't know who uses more hair gel, you or the continent of Europe. Boom, roasted.
Gosh.
And that's all I had.
Yeah.
damn it, Ronan.
Those were pretty good, dude.
Those were terrible.
Mine was more of a compliment, so I'm
Yeah.
happy with it.
Oh, no problem, man.
I was hoping it was going to sting at least a little bit.
I won't hurt you.
All right. This is what I want you to do. I want you to take the next week until we do our final podcast for Tony's fight. And that's the only task you have. Just think of something. Just think of an insult. One insult for each of us that's actually going to make sense and hurt our feelings.
I don't want to hurt your feelings. That's messed up.
That's the point of an insult.
Okay.
One of these segments will land, buddy. Don't worry.
Gosh.
Dude, what are you talking about? That was great.
No.
Did I not tell you views are up?
Yeah.
Move on.
I had a great question, actually, for
Okay.
both of you
Go.
that I wanted to talk about before we get into. I want to know if I should save this for last.
No, just go.
Okay. It's kind of broad. It's kind of like we did before. What makes you guys happy?
It's a good question.
Very general.
You know what makes me happy? I'll start. We can probably talk about this for a good hour if we wanted to, because life's good. But I would say the first thing that comes to mind when I think of what makes me happy is just finishing a beautiful meal. Let's call it prime rib, medium rare, with some garlic mashed potatoes. Start off with like a Caesar salad, maybe like some stuffed mushroom, something like that. and then finish with a nice dessert, like some type of key lime pie or cheesecake, and just a beautiful, beautiful coffee. That makes me happy.
Doesn't get much better than that.
It's a great answer.
Doesn't get much better than that.
It's a really good answer. Tony?
Besides that, I think I was talking to someone about this the other day. Happiness is not really a main goal of mine.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm after peace. So the things that bring me peace are discipline, faith, relationships, self-improvement, those kind of things. I think like you can choose happiness. Like the only time I think about happiness is like I'm choosing to be happy in the moment. But like what I do on a daily basis is not like, oh, I want to be happy, so I'm going to do this. It's like what am I going to do today that's going to bring me peace, knowing that I'm being authentically myself and doing the best that I can. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Can I maybe rephrase? Because I've been thinking about this a lot actually as well.
Proceed.
So I think instead of happiness, what the word that you're looking for, because a lot of the things that you're saying will make you happy.
Mm-hmm.
Being disciplined, grinding, working hard, having solid relationships, having solid foundation of faith. Those things are all they're all part of having a happy life and day to day being happy. What I think that is more important to not be caught up in is being entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel as if society today is built around consuming our attention through entertainment, where every show, every podcast, every, whatever it is, it's all about how to grab your attention and entertain you for X amount of time. The longer amount of time it can do that, the more valuable it is, because it's keeping that focus on whatever it is that is going on, right? And so I feel like if you're searching out ways to be entertained throughout the day, you're kind of missing the point.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing that real life experience of consciousness and going out and having to be present and make decisions and then live the consequences of whatever those decisions are, positive or negative. If all I'm focused on day to day is how can I fill up my time with some type of entertainment today? It could be through TV. It could be through going to a show. It could be whatever, it could be a video game.
Mm-hmm.
There's all different types of ways to go about it. But I feel like that's kind of a big distraction.
Yeah.
The idea of feeling like you have to be entertained.
Yeah, for sure. The word that I think as the opposite of peace for me is pleasure. So like I've been in parts of my life where like pleasure is a goal, whether it's like going out or having fun or doing this, like things that jack up those neurochemicals in your brain,
right?
Like that entertain you. But what I mean by peace is kind of the opposite of that, like seeking after things that are long-term, that make you truly feel good. And in turn, like you said, yeah, you are happy, but it's not like a lot of times in the moments of pursuing those things, you're not happy. You're not like pumped to be disciplined and do certain like tasks throughout the day. But the peace that I get from it in turn gives me a much happier life. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think that idea, like exactly what you said, I think entertainment and pleasure really go hand in hand. And when that becomes your main motivation is to be entertained or to feel pleasure, then it's so easy to just break down and go against what you really want.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately you just lose that presence and that consciousness,
mm-hmm.
and you lose that, I won't even say control, but you lose that autonomy over your life, because I don't believe that we're 100% in control of everything that that happens. We're definitely not in control of everything that happens to us. And in that way, you know, we're not in control of everything that happens in life, but we can be present and we can give 100% effort towards whatever that is. And if we're focused on the entertainment or the pleasure, then discipline and consistency really just goes out the window.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. I think that like one way that I've always thought about it is like, I think everyone just like has bad days in general. Like, and I'm stealing this from Gary Vee, but kind of like being microly frustrated, but macroly grateful. So like when you were talking about like having overall peace, like striving towards that, like I feel like that's unattainable, but like you can make strides to that to somewhat get in there. And, you know, you're obviously never going to be completely at peace of mind. Like,
yeah,
there's too many things. Like we're human beings.
Right.
Yeah. No, I like that. What you're saying, like the micro feelings, but you can have like a general view and feeling of peace. So like things happen throughout my day, but I know I have like a kind of quote, like in this world, but not of it. So I'm like kind of looking from like a bird's eye view, or trying to, when little things happen, and I'm like keeping my focus on God and like the greater picture. So obviously, like you're saying, there's gonna be moments where I'm completely engrossed in those little things, and if it feels like bigger than it is. But I think we can all get to a point where we have like a general view of peace and of the bigger picture, and focusing on what truly matters, so that when these things do come up, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm struggling in this moment, but I'm still at peace overall.
For sure. I think where you can improve, you're not able to improve on your situation, or I guess on your inputs, on like a lot of what comes into you, because that's out of our control. But I think you can improve on how easily distracted you are from those things, from peace and focus, and also how quickly you're able to get back to where you want to be mentally, right? Like, it's not that we're never going to have a situation where we're never going to have a complete life where we don't have any of these negative things coming in, but we are able to, I think, get better at how easily those pull you away, and how quickly, if you do get pulled away, you're able to refocus.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Do you guys feel like you have an easier time like refocusing when those things happen, since of like you guys are older than me, so like I think the age helps a lot with that, and just, you know, the more you experience, the better you're going to react to things in general most of the time. So do you think it's like when something, you know, frustrates you or anything, do you think that you find it, I don't want to say like easy, but I'm trying to think of like the right word to phrase that as, like it's easier to come back into yourself?
I see what you're saying. Like
Perspective.
How do those things affect you, right? Like, I feel like there's a lot of things as you go through life that when you're young or inexperienced in life, that maybe they have a much grander effect on your mentality or your energy, or just overall how you feel about yourself or how you feel towards others. And I think that people can develop coping mechanisms that are positive or negative, right? Like, I think you can get better at that if you're intentionally trying to. If you're so I think about anxiety a lot, and I think everybody experiences some level of anxiety. And I think honestly a lot of people experience a very similar amount of anxiety, but the reason that some people have to go to, you know, a clinical psychologist, or have to turn to some type of antidepressant or different things like that, is it's not 100%, but somewhat based on your coping mechanisms that you've been able to develop. And not everybody was given the same education experience, same ability to develop those, you know. So I feel like, but what is true in my mind is, if you develop healthy, positive coping mechanisms for whatever that anxiety is, and the only way you can do that is through time and experience and intentionality, then you'll be able to better deal with these types of situations, right? You know, some people have no coping mechanism, Or some people have a negative coping mechanism where they turn to drugs or alcohol or, whatever it is, and that spirals downwards. But if you have a positive coping mechanism, for example, your car gets a flat tire and you're stuck in the middle of the road, and your coping mechanism for that stressful situation can be, well, it would have been easy for this to happen in a different situation. I'm on the highway, I spun off the highway and something worse happened, so I always have something to be grateful for. Or just feeling like, this situation sucks, but it's not the end of the world. I'm just going to do what I need to do, get it taken care of, fixed, and move on. Just, versus sitting on the curb and crying, right? Like, just a little example, but I feel like how you develop those coping mechanisms towards stress and anxiety is kind of what you're referring to, like whether or not it's easier or harder to deal with those types of situations.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, it over time you're going to experience more setbacks and trials and tribulations, but like Bo's saying, doesn't necessarily make us like more experienced or better to help you unless we're developing those coping mechanisms and taking the reason why those things happen to us. There's a lesson in each of them. So if we took those lessons from it, then we have something to give. So that's how I feel. Like, just from the ups and downs of my life so far, I've intentionally taken multiple lessons from each of them, because if they really like brought me to a low place, I was just cognizant of the fact that I want something good to come out of it. So what's the lesson out of this injury, or like this setback, or this like where I messed up here? And also through all of that, you kind of get, at least for me, like you get worn down a little bit of like getting your hopes up and then getting knocked down, and then like feeling like you're on top of the world, and then like you're back down low. So it's like, I feel like God uses those things to open our hearts up back to him and to the knowledge of like how we're supposed to grow as humans. So hopefully as those kind of things continue to happen, like they're less traumatic because you've been there before and you know that a lesson's coming out of it and that it's all ultimately leading to your ultimate good. So that's like the kind of place where I'm trying to be at, is not letting either really good or really bad take me from that like middle ground. That's what I mean by peace.
Definitely. Yeah, I totally feel that, staying in the middle. It's easy to get too high and too low when that's just kind of like, you mentioned this earlier, but we're living in the world, but not of the world, right? And that's, I think, where faith comes into play, is if you stay grounded and you keep your foundation in something consistent, then, you could win the lottery or achieve a goal and you feel good, but you don't get this euphoria that's unrealistic, that's unsustainable. And the same thing, if something bad happens, you don't, go down to the deepest, darkest depths. You can kind of just be steady and, not worry so much about having to come back from either one of those places, because you're just right there. You're consistent.
Yeah.
So do you think that you kind of like, obviously everyone has like expectations and goals for themselves, but I'm trying to think of how to phrase this correctly. Do you try and not set as, I don't want to say like high expectations for yourself, but like,
I know what you're saying. Like,
I don't know how to phrase that.
I think it's a balance of like setting high goals and doing everything in your power to get there. Along the way, as stuff comes up, you just try to go with the flow a little more. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, trusting God along the process. Like, if the process doesn't go exactly how I planned, but I'm still reaching towards that ultimate goal. Like, not getting so hung up on it didn't go exactly to plan.
Yeah.
That's like,
yeah, I think that for me, when I think about goals and achieving things, and I'm going to set my goals to the absolute highest I possibly can. And at the end of the day, whether I achieve those or not, I know my value is the same. And so when you go into that and you get that kind of laid out as your groundwork, adversity's coming. It's not something that's like, oh, what? That's a bump in the road. That's crazy that happened. I didn't expect that. It's like, I already know that adversity's coming my way and things aren't going to go as I planned regardless. So I'm not so stuck and caught up in that. And at the same time, I just feel like instead of worrying about achieving certain things or achieving goals, I focus on I'm doing what I'm doing because I love it, because I enjoy it. It's not because I want something out of it. I do want something out of it, but that's not why I'm doing it. That's not my why. My why is because I love it, I enjoy it. And if I hit a roadblock or something that happens, something that doesn't go my way, it doesn't really faze me. I was thinking about that the other day. So many people get caught up in undefeated record, retire undefeated, be the champion, do all this and that. And I feel like I've kind of gone onto that track where it is important to me to be undefeated and not lose a fight, but I'm not doing what I'm doing to be undefeated. I'm doing what I'm doing to be world champion and the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world. So I'm just going to keep going until I get that. And I believe that there's nothing that's going to stop me. Does that mean that I won't hit a roadblock or lose or this or that or whatever? Then I don't know. But I'm not going to quit until I get it done. And I think that's more the mindset of, I know I'm going to have something come up that's not going to be ideal, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop and quit and be done. Because again, back to my why.
And who you're becoming along the way, like that's become a big why for me. Like yeah, we have big goals, but now I'm starting to realize like the person that these big goals are forcing me to become through like the natural like trials and tribulations that come along with it and successes, like that's becoming more valuable to me, is just becoming a better version of myself through that process. So either way, it's a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's something to be said when you can have these big, huge goals, but also not even feel, and know that that's not your identity, and that's not it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's freeing.
It is. It makes it so much more fun.
Yeah,
it makes everything that we do so much more fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, because it's such a conscious choice. Like,
imagine if, so let's say we have goals, UFC champion, world champion, this and that. Imagine if you just got that and that was it.
Yeah.
Then it's done.
Most people, that's how it is. And then it's the next thing, next thing.
Well, then
you have everything, and it's like,
right.
I was just listening to Eckhart Tolle, and he's got some great stuff.
I don't know him.
He wrote The Power of Now.
I don't know that one.
You got to check out. Yeah, it's like big on like being present and aware of your consciousness and like the universal shared consciousness and all that stuff. But he was saying the reason why so the next thing is always what gets them. If they don't have faith or anything deeper that's like we're talking about, that's motivating them, the next thing is what is that.
Right.
So
it becomes God to them.
Yeah. So the next thing. So that's why you see when like someone is at the top of the world that pretty much has everything and there's no next thing, that's when it all comes crashing down, because there's no next God to them. It's like, because that was always the excuse. It's like, I'm not happy yet. I'll be happy
when I get this.
Yeah. So when there's no excuse anymore, that's when it comes crashing down. So it's like, if you can start out without that mentality, knowing that nothing will ever give you that ultimate peace, I feel like it frees you up to achieve those things and keep the right perspective.
Yeah, it does. It's like, that reminds me of that Bible verse where it talks about like ashes to ashes. It's like, if you don't have that, if you have a perspective of once I get this, then I'll be happy. That's never going to come.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to get that. You're going to feel it for a second, be disappointed, and then have to restart. But if you know, hey man, like where I'm at now that's where I'm going to be. If you're not happy with what you got now, you're never going to be happy with 100 times that, except for on better picks where you can 100 times your money. All right. Then you'll be happy.
It'll be a little more happy.
Another hypothetical question. This time, the GOAT fight. Or random fight, I should say. We got some basketball players. I know you guys don't watch basketball, but here we go. On the screen, here we go. We got the tail of the tape. Victor Wembanyama against Russell Westbrook.
This is cool. You made this, Ronan?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's only 6'3".
I don't know Victor Wembanyama.
So he's 19. He's like the greatest. He's
Well,
the
Russell
biggest
Westbrook
prospect.
would probably whip his ass then.
That's crazy. He's our height, bro. We chose
200 pounds?
the wrong.
That's literally tiny. Jeez, what a small.
Look
little,
at freaking Westbrook's face, dude. He's definitely winning that fight.
Yeah, I don't even know who this dude on the right
Bro,
is.
what?
He's 7'4".
Remember that clip? That
Yeah,
GIF?
when he's like,
Bro, what?
bro, what? Nah, the dude on the left is gonna kill the guy on the right. He's 19 years old.
7'4", 210 pounds.
He's got an 80
Must
or
be
8
so
foot wingspan.
skinny.
Literally does not mean anything.
You think
Gonna
Russell
do
Westbrook
fly around him?
He's 7'4", 210. That dude's as big around as this fake tree.
Yeah, and Westbrook by KO. Next.
I'm sorry, guys. I haven't came up with a good.
I feel like you don't
Good
have
matchup.
a real good understanding of fighting
Me?
and who would win in what
Dude,
fight.
I've been to like 6 boxing classes.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good point.
Like every other kid.
You're right. You've been to
Um,
a lot of fights, though, man. You should know better.
I
I've been to a
do
lot of
know
fights.
a decent amount.
You should know better.
But you know what I know more about?
What?
Football.
Okay.
Here we go. 2
You
for
lost
3
this week?
last week.
What's that?
Did you lose this week?
Oh.
Dude, it was
Bro.
crazy. You want to know how I lost this week? You want to know how I lost this week?
I have a lot riding on you, so.
I'm 4-1. Let's talk about fantasy, better fantasy league. I did take my first L this week because Russell freaking Wilson fumbled the ball for a touchdown in the last 2 minutes of the Jets-Broncos game, and they took it back for a freaking sack fumble score.
Wow.
That's how I lost.
Why? They had the defense or something?
He had that Jets defense.
Gotcha.
That's
Whoa,
crazy.
so Jets beat the Seahawks?
No, the Broncos. Russell
Oh.
Wilson's on the Broncos now.
When did this guy leave the Seahawks?
2
bro?
years ago.
Dang it.
Anyways, so it took an absolute miracle.
Wow, I really want to check Gary Vee's Instagram because he's been depressing me every time there's freaking Jets game.
Yeah, the Jets won.
That's dope.
But it was, I think I scored the third most points of the week, and the guy that beat me scored the most on that. It was just,
Wow.
it was unbelievable. He had Jamar Chase too, who scored 52 points. So it took it, again, hats off to him. It was a great regular season win that's going to mean nothing when it's all said and done. But it took
Great
an
job. It's completely meaningless.
absolute freaking miracle for that to happen. So it's all good. We're on to next week.
Can we talk about the trade you made, though?
It's a great trade.
You're crazy, dude.
It worked out this week. It's going to work out next week.
Puka's.
Everybody's doubting Puka.
It's not that I'm doubting Puka. It's that.
He scored 21 points. He scored more than Cup.
Did he really?
Yes.
I think you're valuing him really high, man. Derrick
Bro, he's
Henry.
going to have... Listen, you don't know shit about football, Ron.
That's crazy.
Most people don't know about boxing.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, but he's going to get 10-plus targets every game. And Cooper Kupp is going to be in double coverage for the most part. Matthew Stafford has had multiple seasons where he's put up two top 10 fantasy receivers.
It's a fair point.
Puka will end up top 10 in fantasy receiving this year, guaranteed.
This is the only thing that I'm saying.
Derrick Henry, we will see.
I think you could have got more value out of that. Jalen Warren sucks. The Steelers suck.
I didn't get Jalen Warren, actually. I got Zach Moss. They switched it up on me at the end, and I wasn't paying attention.
I would have rather Zach Moss.
I got
That
Zach
makes the
Moss.
trade way better.
Yeah, so I got Zach Moss, and I didn't play him this week. If I would have played him this week, I would have won. But I had
Yeah.
Pollard, and so my running backs were Pollard and James Cook, and my receivers were DJ Moore, Marquise Brown, and Puka. And everybody, James Cook and Pollard didn't do well, but I'm not going to play Zach Moss over them.
That's
so
fair.
I did everything I could do. But
That's fair.
Everything you can do, man.
yeah, it is what it is. I have a absolutely stacked team. My team is easily the best team in the fantasy league, maybe in the history.
Oh, fantasy leagues?
It's
Or-
really good, dude. In a 12-man league,
That's what I was just going to say.
yeah.
For 12 people, it's a lot.
I have some chickpea pasta to go eat, so.
All right, here we go. Last week, I went 2 for 3.
You told me he was ready to go.
Oh! Turn, Ronan. Back towards me, other way. It's
On picks because Justin Jefferson had to blow out his hamstring, which sucks. So I'm not really counting that.
you got shot with a paintball gun. It counted,
All right, but I'm not counting it. Wait,
and it didn't hurt that bad. We're going in the face next time,
dude. I'm not getting
right in the forehead.
Did I show you the text from my mom?
Yeah, you did.
All right, so here we go. Better's number 3 picks guy. This week I have Stephon Diggs.
Why are you better than number 3 picks guy? Who's number 1?
Well, I consider Derek number 1.
What? That's psychotic. Derek's our number 1 boxer, number 1 fighter. He's not our number 1 picks guy.
The number 1 picks guy is definitely Mike.
Mike's good.
Mike's obviously number 1. If it helps you, I'll give you number 2. You have not.
I literally don't care.
You haven't hit a lineup this week.
Frick.
This yet.
Well,
so
I'm gonna have to put some more effort in.
I got you. So here we go. No
right.
Eagles players this week, by the way.
Go ahead.
Stephon Diggs over in receiving yards.
It's good.
Kyron Williams to score a touchdown. And Raheem Mostert over in fantasy points.
I don't like it. You're missing Raheem Mostert, bro. He's hurt.
No.
Yeah, he is.
Devon H.A.'s hurt.
They're both hurt.
No, he's not.
Go look.
No, he's fine. Pick's already in.
Picks in. You're getting shot, bro. Anyways. Oh, wait. I got one more thing.
I got to eat.
I know. This is big, though. This is big. I'm going on a podcast. Another one.
What?
It's a big one. It's pretty much the second most important podcast in my life.
What podcast?
JRE, baby.
Really?
Yeah, he DM'd me.
No way.
Yeah, man. I'm headed down to Texas in December.
That's dope,
Yeah,
bro.
Crazy.
That's huge.
He just literally woke up, randomly DM from Joe Rogan. Hey, let's head down for the podcast. So he set it up and getting the flights booked and all that. But
that's
yeah, pretty cool.
Bro. That's another level.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it'll be crazy to go from having been on the best podcast weekly to the second best podcast in the world.
It will still be cool, though. It'll still be cool.
Yeah.
That's sick, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So you woke up to it, you said?
I just woke up
Were
and
you
he
just
was
like-
like, hey, he said, hey, you want to come on the show or whatever? I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Dang.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool news. I was waiting to share
Dude,
on
that's
there.
crazy.
That's sweet, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
That's going to be big.
Definitely.
December, so
Yep.
right before the baby.
Before the baby.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Go on JRE, have a kid.
Huge news.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, so we got a big month ahead.
Yeah.
Got a bigger month in November. Got a
Big couple months.
biggest month in December.
Yeah. Jeez. That's
fun
freaking
stuff, fun
sweet.
stuff. Yep. All right, boys.
All right. See y'all next week.